There we go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again. On another conscious evolution, on another opportunity for us to not rush things. Today's stream topic is going to be about rushing things. I had this moment today of thinking, what am I supposed to talk about as a stream topic? And as I was going through the practice, I came to this conclusion that in that moment, I was there to experience the yoga practice, right? Realistically, that's the only thing I was there for, right? And instead of thinking of the practice as something to be rushed, something to be gotten over with, I try to lean in instead into that part of me that just wanted to be present. I see Kristen here already. Yeah, not rushing. I hate that. Stress, anxiety, and most of all, then things go wrong. Hi, by the way. Hello, dear friend. You're right. You're perfectly right, Kristen. I think that is one of the problems as well, is that when we spend our times rushing, we not only end up, but in that state of stress and anxiety, we we add more stress and anxiety, and we might even have to spend even more and rushing in the first place, right? So I'm seeing that my network seems to be unstable. Guess I'll have to be patient with that as well. My internet is not working again. It's probably not going to be working for the next few days while I try and get it started up. Man, I'm kind of uncomfortable. I don't know why. Do I know why? This shirt. The shirt it fits me like fine enough, but it's thick. So it feels like it doesn't have a lot of give, which makes me feel like I'm kind of trapped in it. Yeah, it's a bit jumpy today. Sorry. Yeah, there's not much I can do, unfortunately, either. I can go out and come back in. I don't know if that helped any. You let me know. Okay, here it comes. Exits out. Comes back again. It looks low res, but it looks semi-stable. If you pause it and play it again, I don't know if that's going to help. But yeah, we're present, and we're not going to rush this experience. Yes. Because there's nothing to rush towards. Right? Other than our inevitable end. Maybe that's a little bit grim. But there definitely is something to be said about that as an experience. I think it's better. Might be too soon to tell, but all good. I'm trusting. Better be better. You better be. Be better. All right. Rushing. Maybe we can... I'm going to ask for some Zen koans, actually. Do I ask GPT or Gemini? That's the question. I'm going to ask Gemini a little bit. I've been paying for Gemini, so I might as well. Hey Gemini, me and some friends are discussing today the energies of... Bruh, instantly, as I start talking to the AI, my whole brain gets wiped. Rushing. The energy of rushing, how when you feel yourself stressed about some deadline, or when you feel you're trying to get something over, instead of just being fully present for that experience, you might have some stress, you might have some anxiety, you might even end up making mistakes that add more stress and anxiety to your entire experience. I'm curious if there's any Zen koans that kind of touch on this whole topic of rushing things, of trying to get something over with. I'm trying to share the lesson that we shouldn't be rushing things, and we should be leaning into the presence that this moment allows, trying to make the most of it as much as we can. That sounded like a rambling. If I stop talking, it automatically sends. So I have to ramble. Otherwise, it like concludes. It's like, I'll bet if you're done talking. You just didn't ramble for 1.2 seconds continuously. So it must mean you're done with your sentence. There is no consideration to be had. That is a very insightful observation, as the AI always lets me know how insightful I am. About the stress and mistakes that come from rushing. Yassi. Okay, it's making more, I think. Not being present. The desire to get something over with often pulls us out of the experience itself. Zen philosophy and practice deeply resonates with the lesson you're trying to share. The Zen philosophy and Zen practice deeply resonates with the lesson you're trying to share. The importance of presence over haste. While specific koans directly address modern deadlines, directly addressing modern deadlines might be hard to pinpoint, as koans often work more paradoxically. The underlying principle and many Zen stories speak directly to this feeling. That's a profound feeling and a very common human experience. The mind often races ahead. I don't know if I like this. Feels pandering. I don't know why. It's like, we try to have GPT GM a tabletop role-playing game for us, and we ran into the same problem of needing to ramble, or it cut us off. Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable, right? Like it should give you the space. Like I don't know if GPTs works that way, but it should technically just have like a little voice note. It should be like a voice note. You open a voice note, you ramble for as long as you want to, and then you hit the button on that voice note, and then it like breaks it down into text. I think it's better. Might be too soon to tell, but it's good. Okay, bless again. The interwebs is fine. I'm trusting. I'm totally trusting. So let's just go from here. While you might not find a specific ancient koan about modern deadlines, I wasn't really too concerned about the deadlines thing, more the rushing part of it. I want to hear about rushing. Is there any koans about someone rushing to something? We did get a bunch here, 5 it seems. Here's how Zen perspective addresses this. The primacy of presence, mindfulness. Zen fundamentally emphasizes being fully present in this moment. Zen koan, as a Koan, a koan. A koan is like a parable, like a story, like a circumstance, a situation that makes you think, makes you feel something, makes you consider, right, in a way that you might not have considered before. I believe that's the point of a koan. Maybe I can ask this as well. Can you tell me exactly what a koan is? A coin is. Jeez. That didn't sound like coin. I would have said coin. I said koan. I'm getting angry. I shouldn't be angry. No, I didn't ask coin. I didn't ask coin. So you're giving me information I didn't ask for. You're upsetting me. I'm being upset. And now it doesn't. Okay, thank goodness. A koan. Takes a deep breath in. Releases. Yes. It's gonna be quick, totally. Doesn't have to give me that much. Let's break down what a Zen koan is. In simple terms, a koan literally means a public case or a public announcement in Chinese or Japanese. It's a story, a dialogue, a question, or a statement used in Zen Buddhism practice, particularly in the Rinzai school. It is meant to provoke great doubt or questioning. It's supposed to make you consider the nature of things. It can be paradoxical, it can be non-rational, it can be based on Zen tradition. And then it can be used by Zen teachers, by a student to meditate, or for a student to understand things. Like a Zen koan would be, what's the sound of one hand clapping? Right? That's a Zen koan. And then it's like, oh, one hand can't make a sound. That's the sound of one hand clapping, I guess. Right, but that would be the bad answer. That would be the wrong answer. Oh, my screen is spazzing out a little bit. So Dharmak and Jalad at Anangra. Yes, he gives kindly. He gives kindly and makes question. Dharmak and Jalad. Like, I'm happy that I watched that episode to understand what you're talking about, Kristen. Otherwise, I would be confused. But I do know what it means. And I'm trying to like almost use the language myself. He continues reading. All right, the privacy of mindfulness. Pepe! No! Stop that! Stop that, please! Barking at fucking nothing. I'm feeling like a little bit hot as well, definitely. This clothing is choking me out. What are you barking at? There's literally nothing out there. Thank goodness, silence again. Understanding the rushing mind. Maybe I shouldn't wait for the barking to be over. Maybe I should savor the barking. That is today's stream topic, right? Zen encourages observing the mind without judgment. The urge to rush often stems from aversion, disliking the current activity, and craving, desiring the relief or finishing. Stems from aversion and craving, those two. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to not being controlled by them. Yeah, so my aversion is having a dog bark in my environment because it interrupts my train of thought every single time that bark enters my brain, enters my... and then the craving is I crave silence. I crave peace. I crave the room to think something. The joy in living seems to induce barkage for my little one. Yeah. Barking at... Like, again, I have no problem with barking. I see barking as a means for the little doggo to help defend the home or to help inform you of potential danger. But when they're barking at night, it pisses me off. That's all it does. It's just like, great. Now I'm casting judgment from a place of aversion because I wanted to stop. And God knows Zen. Stories and illustrations. Chop wood, carry water. That's a famous one. The famous Zen expression signifies finding practice and even enlightenment in mundane tasks performed with complete attention. The value isn't just in the outcome, having wood or water, but in the mindful doing. Rushing misses this depth entirely. Yeah, the hasty cook. There's a story where a Zen temple cook rushes to prepare a meal, hastily chops vegetables, and unknowingly part of a snake, making the soup inedible. It's a direct illustration of how haste can lead to harmful mistakes. learning patience. Stories sometimes depict Zen masters teaching patience through meticulous, seemingly slow tasks, emphasizing quality of attention over speed. One story tells of a student learning patience by observing a butterfly patiently savoring each flower, not rushing between them. I do like that last one. That last one feels good as a consideration. Little butterfly doesn't rush from one flower to another. To move like a butterfly, huh? Beginner's mind, Shoshin, polarized, popularized by Zen master Shunryu Suzuki. This means approaching tasks, even familiar ones, with the openness, eagerness, and lack of preconceptions of a beginner. Rushing often comes from a place of knowing or wanting to get past the familiar. Beginner's mind invites curiosity into the present moment of the task, making it fresh rather than something to escape. Suzuki advised letting thoughts, like impatient ones, come and go like guests, but don't serve them tea. Don't indulge or energize them. So, the impatient thought would be me being irritated by Pepe's incessant, useless barking, right? And for me to not feed that thought tea would be to not say something in that moment, I'm guessing. Right? Instead of saying something, I can just not. And then before I know, maybe the dog still stops and I hadn't said anything at all. All right, is that how it works? Hey Nancy, what's today's topic? Today's topic is rushing. Rushing things, trying to get something over with, whatever it is, and realizing that at the end of our lives, we will not be wishing that we had rushed more. No matter what it is we rushed through, right? You might rush through cutting the grass, for example. But at the end of your life, you're not gonna like recant that rushing to cut the grass and feel like really good about that. Like, oh, sure, I'm happy I saved 5 minutes or whatever cutting the grass instead of. And this is just a rough example, right? I'm not saying this something necessarily holy about cutting grass. There's something holy about everything, of course, but that's no more holy than any other task that you want to do. It's just a matter of rushing something. At the end of our lives, we're not going to wish we had rushed more. We're probably going to wish we had rushed less, had found more calm, more peace with our progress, more patience with our process. Koans and investigation. While not direct instructions, koans often challenge the very assumptions that fuel rushing. Notions of time, accomplishment, and self. They are tools to exhaust the conceptual mind, the part that generates stress about deadlines. I feel like you did get a little bit hyperfixated on the whole deadlines thing. I wanted to talk more about the actual act of rushing something, right? Maybe you're cutting the grass and you feel like you need to almost run behind the lawnmower to try and get it done as quick as possible. That kind of rushing. I like to argue that at the end of our lives, no matter what it is we spent our lives doing, we're not going to wish we had rushed through all of that doing. We're not going to wish that we had made even more effort to not be present. We're probably going to do the opposite. Yeah, I already lost. I didn't ramble enough. You saw, like I like missed a beat for a second of not speaking, and then it was like, bet, guess you're done. Let's see if it gives me something useful. No. I think you're still missing my original question. I want you to give me some ancient koans. I don't want you to give me your perspective. I want the koans, Koans, not coins. Why do you keep freaking? Oh my goodness. Coins are so clearly different than koans. Every single time I say koan, it saves ancient coins. I'm patient. I'm so patient. Oh my, it's fucking asking me about coins. Roman coins, Roman denaries, Greek drachmas, Athenian owls. What are their history, their value, and their collector? I'm not asking about damn coins. Man, so freaking stupid. I'm not. I'm not gonna get angry. You guys are great. Hey, Xiao. I'm getting all riled up by. I'm gonna see if my freaking keyboard's microphone input's gonna be better. I think you're still missing what I'm actually asking. I want you to give me actual ancient Zen koans. Fucking hell, it's not Zen coins. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Maybe I'm saying it incorrectly. Koans? I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask it after I typed it out. I'm probably gonna just hit the articulate and see if it says the word koan. Like, bet you $10 it sounds the exact same way I'm saying it. I asked now officially for the Zen koans. Let's see if it's gonna give me some. Yeah, it's giving me some. But these seem very bad. I'm sorry. So, I mean, the first one I'm seeing is kind of trash. Yeah, I mean, it's here.
Right. My apologies. I understand now that you're not looking for interpretations or related principles, but for actual, specific examples of Zen koanins, regardless of whether they don't.
Kuanins. Kuanins. That's not how you say it. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna ask how to pronounce koans. Ah.
Koans. Koans.
That's very artificial intelligence. This one seems newer.
Koans.
Koans. I don't trust you either. Which one is newest? This one is 4 years old. This one is 3 months old.
Koans.
Yeah, koans.
Koans.
I'm gonna lose my mind if I think about it more. All right, the Josh Moo. Josh Shush. This is ChatGPT, right? This one is Gemini. You can't edit your input of the correct word. You can, and that's what I've been doing afterwards. I'm like clicking on my input and then entering it. But if you query of your voice, it automatically searches before it gives you the chance to edit anything. You want source material itself. Here are some well-known traditional Zen koans. The koan. A monk asks Master Joshu, does a dog have Buddha nature or not? Joshu replied, Mu. In context, Mu literally means no or nothingness, but in this context is used to cut through conceptual thinking entirely, beyond a simple yes or no answer. Yeah, it's not a is or is not, it's a no. Stop that. Wash your bowl. A monk said to Master Joshua, I have just entered the monastery. Please teach me. Joshua asked, have you eaten your rice porridge? The monk replied, I have eaten. Joshua said, then you had better wash your bowls. At that moment, the monk had an insight. The context. This point towards practice being found in some esoteric teaching separate from present task. Yeah, as in you want to become enlightened. You want to be taught by your teacher. And then you have your meal. And then you're like, oh, I've had my meal. Now I can go and get enlightened. And then you ask your teacher, so enlighten me. And then he goes, have you eaten? And you're like, yeah. Then wash your bowl. Just do the basic stuff, you know. And you're like, oh wow, wait a second. Why didn't I see that? Because it's, again, I think that has something to do with the whole getting it over with fractal. The sound of one hand. Master Haikuen Ekaku asked, two hands clap and there is a sound. What is the sound of one hand? This famously challenges the practitioner to go beyond conventional logic and sensory perception. Nansen cuts the cat in two. Jeez. The koan. Monks in the eastern and western halls were arguing over a cat. Master Nansen took hold of the cat and said, if any of you say a turning word, a word in Zen, you can save the cat. If you cannot, I will kill it. No one could answer. Nansen cut the cat in two. Later, when Joshua returned, Nansen told him what had happened. Joshua immediately took off his sandals, put them on his head, and walked out. Nansen remarked, if only you had been there, you could have saved the cat. That one is a little rough. The context. A difficult and controversial koan challenging conventional morality, attachment, and intellectual understanding, demanding a response from a different level of awareness. Of course, Bezos' ordinary mind is in the way. I don't think it is. I don't think we're gonna get a koan that properly serves what I want to talk about today. Ordinary mind is the way. The koan. Master Bezos was asked by a monk, what is the Buddha? Bezos replied, ordinary mind is the way, or ordinary mind is Buddha. This points away from seeking something special or extraordinary, suggesting that enlightenment or the path is found within one's everyday consciousness and activities. These are kind of paradoxical, often non-rational statements, questions, or dialogues that constitute koans. They are meant to be grappled with directly in meditative practice under the guidance of a teacher rather than solved like intellectual puzzles. Yeah, I don't know if this helps, but it is, at least in my mind, not something that we could rush. Can't exactly rush understanding something like that. Maybe that's the point of the conversation, at least I think so. Yeah, we have shown up. Once again, look at us, present. Let me see if I've missed some comments. I'd not be surprised. Like that. The cultural overlay in Buddhism is significant. It's koan, 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 koan. Should I longer? Koan. Koan and ko. Right, I'm not saying oi. Koan, oan. And it's oi, coin, oi. Right, I feel like the AI should be able to like pick up on stuff like that between ois and oas. Or am I asking too much? How is it supposed to be able to translate what I'm saying to another person in real time if it cannot understand the difference between ois and oas of a diva in expectation. An. Ko. An. Maybe you should be like extra zen about it. Ko. That's the right way to say it. Yeah, totally. No other way. Don't at me. Rushing an experience, huh? Going into lurk mode. Not being rushed right now. You're right, Kristen. I'm like taking it extra easy. Moving mindfully and slowly, patiently. Little ghosts. Little ghosts running amok, running around. Going right back. There we go. What do I have on my mind right now? I'm thinking about rushing things. I'm thinking about what I've seen rushing things do to other people. What it's done to me. What it can do to a relationship. Romantic or otherwise. It's interesting to notice. We as human beings are good at recognizing patterns. And I think that's in part why we spend so much time rushing. Because we, on some level, intrinsically know that the only way for us to discover, to get the information it is we're looking for, is to be on the other side of the experience. The only way for you to know whether you like a movie or not is to have finished watching it. Right? If you're an honest person, right? If you're not gonna like the movie or not just based on public sentiment, you have to watch the movie. All right, is that Fit Demon? Sup, guys? It's nice having you here now. Haven't had a chance to pop in. Thank you for joining us today. My course will be over soon, so for going on courses, getting more educated. It's nice having you here, Fit. Did I get distracted enough to forget what I was talking about? No. Pattern recognition and getting it over with, right? For you to recognize potential patterns in a movie, for you to recognize the potential patterns in yourself and how it is you're feeling, we do require a certain experience to have concluded, right? In that way, we don't know when a recession is happening, right? Technically, if we're in the middle of a recession, we don't actually know that. We do know is that it was a recession after it has passed, right? Sure, we can watch our stocks lose value and we can, watch inflation go rampant, etc., etc. But more often than not, the actual pattern isn't recognized on an individual level until it is, to say it in that way, right? Until it's clear, until recognizing the pattern is as easy as looking at it. But you can only look at something after it had happened in that way, right? Like looking at something in this world, you're always seeing the past because light had to travel and then hit that object and then reflect off that object and then hit your eyes. And there's latency in that experience. You're not seeing the exact instance of reality that you think you are. And then there's like some processing that happens in your brain as well. And in that way, your conscious experience is a kind of hallucination. Kind of hallucination. It is a constructed experience. First question that comes to my mind is why would we construct such an experience? And among them is love is true. We're here to experience love, right? And then the second one is no matter what my answer was, if my answer was love, right, I'm here for love, then rushing my experience, trying to get it over with, is going to either leave me with less love or leaves me having loved my experience less. Right, and I feel like that probably is going to be the case. We started today's stream with Kristen sharing that there's so much stress, anxiety, and the potential for things to go wrong in rushing. Right, and I don't know about you, but I don't particularly love feeling stressed and anxious and making mistakes that I have to clean up, do over, hide, behind other work or whatever, right? Like it's not exactly the way we want things to be. So let me ask the question in this way instead. We definitely did get a little bit stuck with the koans, and I do appreciate what you've shared. It just saves coins anyway. I'm losing my mind. I'm fine. This is fine.
Okay,
No.
I understand. Thank you for your patience as we navigated that. I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad the specific example.
Why is it talking? It shouldn't be talking. And again, I get like so flabbergasted already built in my brain before I even start talking to it. Otherwise, it's just going to auto search my mistakes. Right. Was that not rambly enough? It automatically just searched that. Please. Please just let me finish a sentence, bro. Please. Please. I'm gonna try again. I have come to the conclusion that we are here for love. And if we're here for love, it means that we shouldn't be rushing this experience. Because if we rush this experience at the end of our lives, we'll either end up with less love or we will have experienced less love in our lives because rushing things can bring with it stress and anxiety and a certain level of discomfort that might actually take away from you loving your entire experience. I'm curious if there has been teachers, philosophers, wise people of the past that have given lessons in how we can be a little bit more patient and present with our experience instead of being so caught up in trying to rush past it. Is there any proper practice? You'll see, like, thank goodness I have practice rambling. Jeez. How do they expect people to use this fucking service properly? I think they're maybe like actively discouraging people to actually use the voice features. Oh, I mean, it pisses me off. Jeez, I like it. It really irks my nurkles. All right, I'm chillaxed. I'm so calm. Yeah, I'm patient. I'm so chill. Whoa, it's fit. So much love. Rushing the experience makes it about the destination rather than the journey. So right. The outcome rather than the process. That's so true. I hate making mistakes, but mostly just if they affect other people. I hate making mistakes, especially. I'm like hard on myself on mistakes if they affect other people. But I generally don't like making mistakes. I totally feel you on that. It just talked out of nowhere. Yeah, I canceled the prompt, but I think it was still going in the background. And then it's just because I had it searching with voice before or reading aloud before, it was just like, oh, wait, oh, guess you won. Is that Mason? Mason? Nurak himself? The, as I like to call him in my mind, the drum and bass Mozart. Hey, bro, it is you, right? I am sure. Nurak feels like your brand, Fractal. Woohoo! Bro, if that's you, bless you, Mason. Are you real? No. Not technically. Not spiritually or philosophically. I seem to be convinced of it. I eat food and stuff. I sleep. Sometimes. Yeah, I'm as real as you are. Right. And that opens a whole new can of worms because, unironically, you might not be. Bless you, brother. That feels like Mason to me. Bless you too, bro. Yeah, it is me. Blah. Have you been here in the streams before? This feels This feels special, bro. I like this. This is nice. I was like thinking to myself today actually about this space and it being like a willingness to offer myself as friend to the internet. And it's nice having you here, friend. I've met Mason. I made friends with Mason in the real world first. All right. How about that? Hacks. Some straight hacks. The major news. Any major news from anyone, or is everything the way I left it? There's always major news brewing, right? Bubbling underneath the surface. Things are always changing, becoming more and more. Let's call it progressive. Is it progressive the right word? Progressive feels like a loaded political term. Like things are progressing. Yes, yes, please, always, and into infinity. They just talked out of nowhere. Say Rayan is potan. If you want me to donate to you, I don't really mind you donating to me or not. It would be great, but I'm more like, what did I just say? That's the first thing. Rayan is potan. I hope that I'm not insulting someone. Rayon is love too, right? Just to like add some balance. I think I'm in the same place. Fit. Did I miss something? Fit said everything the way I left it. I mean, you're making art. You're becoming even more studied as a yogi. So you definitely are progressing. I'm working on a giant painting. Yeah. Painting faces on the weekends for the farmers market. The pursuit of art. It's a good thing. So much love. We have Venusa Patience here too. It's me again. Tomorrow is my birthday. Nice. The 16th of April. If you want to be here, do subscribe to you. Bless you, Mason. Thank you, bro. Makes a difference. So I'm still at the point where every subscriber is noticed. Though I can see the number go up. I'm like, think they keep showing you pretty much indefinitely, right? But it's at this point where, like, when someone leaves or when someone adds, like, it changes baseline basically. I love you, bro. Sending you blessings. I love your content, brother. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Slices of myself, right? You get to see this person. You know me as a person in the real world first, you know. Like I have become who I am. Like you have only met me after I started doing what I'm doing right now as well. So there is like a duality of shaped experience. Like I've always been myself in the real world, totally. But because of the internet, I have changed significantly as well. Can't wait to see Joe. It really is pretty cool. Massive too, like so big, like flabbergastingly. The face painting is pretty cool as well. Like this weekend past, she painted a whole zombie horde. Like imagine a bunch of little kids that have zombie painting, zombie face paint on. You know, it was it was adorable, and at the same time, the part of me that is very tismed, I was just thinking about children as zombies. I was like, yeah, these kids are cute with their little zombie face paints. And then the next thought is, what if they were real children zombies? Would they still be cute? Right? Suddenly, nah. Watching you grow is beautiful. Oh, Mason. You know, flatter me. You're gonna make me feel like, oh. Can't wait to see that, Joe. So much love. Thank you, Venusa. Be here tomorrow as well, but happy early birthday to you, dear friend. Sweet House Giant. I think I missed that one. Thank you. That's pretty big. I look forward. I think I am missing some comments. It seems that there is a little bit of a gap between the screen and what I'm seeing you friends replying to. Yeah, I even saw Kristen has donated some memberships. That's so nice. Tiramisu, Stefan van Clark, Connor Murphy, Honey Mickey, and Duck Dad. I've been thinking about Duck Dad bunches as of late. That's so wholesome. Sending him lovin's too. Shadow, thank you. Thank you, Shadow friend. I really appreciate that. Can't wait to see that. I'm working on a giant painting. Yeah, I wonder if the metrics or the actual dimensions are going to make a difference to people. They have to probably bless. Watching you grow is beautiful. A few years ago on my set, and I got to see you through your mental journey as you close your eyes. And now I see why you move the way you move. Yeah, like you got to see me. So, like, I want to almost like tell you a story, Mason. I don't know if you know this story, but if you want to spend like a moment here for this story, maybe this can be the way, you know, I can like send you off, right? And I know that the way you saw me and like maybe the way that the memory of me was like really burned into your brain was probably with that freaking drum on my shoulder, right? Like absolutely dancing to your set as well. And there, during that weekend, there was like a bunch of different things, right? Adam, that friend that was there with me, is a friend that I hadn't seen at that point in like 2 to 3 years, right? Long time, didn't get to see him. And then suddenly he hits me up. He lives in Zimbabwe. he hits me up. He's like, I'm going to drive through from Zimbabwe, and then I'm going to come and pick you up on the farm here, and then we're going to drive through to White Rabbit. And I'm like, yeah, bet we're going to do that. Let's do it. And he does it. He drives through all the way from Zimbabwe, picks me up. We get to White Rabbit, and then I meet you friends there, right? And I, at that point, had already done this for a while. Like, I don't even know how long. 2 years, probably 2 years consecutively, right, of doing this live stream every single day. And at that point in my journey, and especially with Adam, and instantly realizing the role I play as well, because I haven't been going to festivals as much since I started doing this, I felt a certain sense of heaviness, right? Considering the responsibility I have. And you've seen me grapple with responsibility bunches of times at festivals, Mason, so this shouldn't be a surprise to you. But in that moment, it felt like the responsibility was almost too heavy to bear, right? And I was like feeling sad for myself. I was like feeling like sorry, like and then I met a friend, Ethan and Sam, and they had a little boy called Liam. You probably know them as well and remember them too. And like I connected for a little bit with Ethan, and then we didn't see each other. And the next time I saw him, he had this djembe with him. And he drops this djembe in front of me and he leaves. Right? And at this point, I've been like going down this rabbit hole of responsibility and how heavy it is to carry this person you're supposed to be in the world, and how important it is for you to be the right person in the world, right? Like the way you carry that responsibility is a big deal. And then this drum gets put down in front of me. And the way that I interpret it in that moment is that this friend, this new friend that I haven't actually had a conversation with just yet, just put this drum down in front of me, and he instantly left, but he's going to return any second now. And then we're going to have a meaningful conversation, and it's going to be beautiful, and we're going to grow together. And then I wait, right? And that moment instantly broke me out of my mindset of like the responsibility I was carrying in my brain, right? And slowly but surely, almost like got transferred psychologically, spiritually into this drum, right? Suddenly, the responsibility I had to the world now was this physical. We're at a festival, things, because that's not my responsibility. And then have in this world, the responsibility all of us as people to each other have in this world. And yeah, you were a part of that story too, right? You being a musician, literally making the voomp voomps that made me dance, getting to be there with you. Dancing with a drum on your shoulder. I had bruises. I don't know if you know that, Mason. Literally, my entire shoulders here and here were bruised, like proper, like I can spot that big bruises. And my hips, where I would like shift the weight onto my hips because I wouldn't put it down while I'm dancing. I would put it down if I'm standing still, but if I had to dance, it had to, it had to dance with me. I destroyed myself. But I felt stronger than I've ever felt in my life. And I felt more capable and more present with the reality of this situation we're in. So yeah, there you go, Mason. That's the story of that drum, bro. To give you some more context on what was happening there, bro, behind my eyes while I was experiencing all of that, right? And like getting to dance to sick music while you were going through like a whole existential experience. That's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. A burden shared is a burden halved. That's it, bro. So much love. Man, gotta run again. It's nice having you here, Fit Demon. Sending you blessings. Lovings to you. Oh, I remember Liam. Yeah. It's technically his name is, I think, spelled like Lehan. Liam. It's not technically Liam, it's like Liam. And it means love in some language, which is kind of wild too. Krios is here too. Hey, Krios. What up, G-Dog? It worked. It worked? What worked? Everything is working. Oh, it does technically still have an M, I think. Uh, I wanted to like see if I have a memory close. I do have it digitized somewhere, but it's not on my devices, I don't think. We have been here for an hour already. Jeebs, that happened so quickly. I started supplementing creatine again. In so many words, I believe is helping. It's relatively cheap. Do consider getting some creatine. That was an incredible story. To finally hear the full context, blessings. I wish you more amazing. I only end up meeting Ethan the freaking Sunday at 5 p.m. Like that's when I see him again. And I think he put the drum down in front of me Friday night or something like that. You know how time is. Man, I need a sip of water. Yeah. Yeah. That's very nice. And then when I tried to give the drum back to him, he was like, no, it was actually a gift. It is, in fact, your drum. Get my mind bull blasted. What do you mean? What do you mean it's my drum? And he's like, yeah, I actually intended to give it to you. And I couldn't just accept the gift. So because I knew he had a child, offered him all the money I had. Literally all of it. And it was because I brought some money with me for the festival. And I had paid for the things, and it was like this Sunday. So I had paid for the things the festival needed paid for. And then I had some capital left. And then I offered him all of it. And he was kind of flabbergasted. And then he offered me a bunch of fungi, let's say. And I gladly accepted. And that medicine did actually end up serving us for like a whole 3 foot tall posted pick in creative space. I'm quite proud. You should be. I wonder if you already have. Jeebs. I feel like my throat is all scrunchies. Oh. Hey, she did post something. Ah, the Zombo kiddos. Yeah, this is the photo I was thinking about. Look at them zombies. She's painting it for her cousin, who's gonna take it to a panel where all of the people who made the movie The Terrifier are going to be speaking, and he's going to be asking them to sign in all of the white space their names. But that is insane to me. Like, I don't know if the scale is clear. It should be. There is a big ass ruler next to it. Those are inches, right? 36, 36 inches. All the way up there. That's a big one. Yeah. My dude's looking a little bit creeperish. But he's not called the Inspire Passions, the Makes You Calm. He's called the Terrifier. All right, this stream ought to come to an end. I appreciate you, friends. Thank you for joining me for this. I'm going to show you a piece of art of my own, read you a poem, and then say a little horizontal stream as well. But it's not always something that you can control. Not yet, at least. And the poem that went with it was called Recharge Glitch. Yesterday I felt a little bit tired and I was like, can you write an interesting poem about being tired? And I kept trying over and over and over and over again until I got this. Recharge Glitch goes something as such. I just got a bunch of buzzies, like someone sending me messages. But it seems not. Oh, it's YouTube. Nice. Do you want to listen to some more Moonlight Piano Sonata number 14 Beethoven remix? No, please. Don't notify me. Don't notify me these things. Recharge Glitch. Slept heaps. Logged the hours. Woke up fuzzy. Thick head. Slow start. Weird. Body says nope. Mind says go. Habit wins. Mostly. Autopilot on. Brain buffering. Thoughts like foggy bread. Thoughts like soggy bread. Focus, a slippery fish. Words arrive. Eventually. Gravity, normal. Me, stuck in slow-mo. World zips by, slightly blurred. Hands working, legs moving. How? Full tank, wonky engine. Rested but unplugged. Makes no sense, still here though, doing the things. Screen face, meat face, running on mystery. Memento maybe. Hope the fizz returns later. This tired, the weird kind, the post recharge glitch moves, does the job, almost looks awake. Right then, enough thinking. Next. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt yesterday. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me for today. I relate to this one today. Oh, Joe. Taking a big breath with you. Jovan did mention that she's feeling a little bit fluey. Imagine Joe taking a big breath, unencumbered, not having any body aches, not having any mind's mistakes, not having anything that's bothering. I imagine you feeling better and better and better still. I love you. I'll see you in the next horizontal stream for a moment. Goodbye, dear friends. Man, my throat is so scratchy as well. Like, I'll take some. I'll take some of Jovan's scratchiness. Yeah, I took some, and then instantly my white blood cells went to town. I absolutely kicked the living daylights out of those poor viruses. Right? They were like strolling in, thinking they're big bosses, and then they got their faces kicked. Kick in their faces. Again, love yous too. I'll be here in a moment again, sending you blessings.